Oh, good evening. It's now dark, as you can see. Looks like my water's boiling. I'm doing my hot water bottle thing here. Oh yes, look at that. It's like Old Faithful. Okay, I'll turn down the gas a bit so I'm not wasting gas. Okay, that's good. Yeah. We gotta get these things all filled up. Anyway, I'm going to tell you a little something here. It's a story. It's kind of a comical story, and I'll give you a little bit of background. When I was in school, there was a family that I went to school with the children. They were all in my age range. One of the daughters was pretty much exactly my age, and then some of the kids were a little older, some were a little younger, but we were all in school at the same time. And anyway, I'll tell you the story. Anyway, they were a really nice family, a really good family, and I always fought quite a bit of them anyway. They were always kind to me. The whole family was always very kind to me anyway, and I always appreciated that. Anyway, when the old dad there, Gord, when he got a little bit older and his health started to fail and whatnot, he really wasn't farming anymore. They had been a farm family, and Gord also drove a school bus for years and years. Anyway, too, and anyway, though, old Gordon there, he got the dad. He got that his health was failing and whatnot, you know. And anyway, I stopped around to visit. I hadn't been around there in a very long time, but I stopped to visit anyway one time, and you could see there were things that needed to be tended to and so on. I've actually bought some Raleigh stuff from him. He sold Raleigh, which Raleigh, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but what Raleigh is, it's salves and ointments and things and liniments, and it's Rocky over there. It's they sell cooking spices and cleaning supplies, all kinds of neat stuff. And the stuff really works too. It's old-fashioned stuff. It's an old-fashioned company. It used to be quite well known, but in recent years not so much. And that kind of factors into the story, because what had happened was, anyway, Gord, he had this Raleigh dealership too. He'd sold Raleigh for years. Like I say, I may not be pronouncing it right. And he had a sign out by the road. Just a sign hanging from a post out at the end of his laneway. He had the old-fashioned farm laneway that went way back, you know, to the house and everything. And then the farm fields were beyond that. Very pretty property. Similar, actually, to this property. This is an old farm property. Anyway, I bought some stuff from him. Some salve. And I got it from my mother because my mother was having trouble with varicose veins. And I had heard that the Raleigh salve was good for varicose veins. Anyway, and it actually did help her for a little while. And I started to come around to visit anyway, and he needed help here and there with things, and I got to helping him with different things. And anyway, we got to be good friends. And there was a situation that occurred in my life, and I'll make a separate video about that later on. Pardon my bad camera work, but I'll make a separate video about that later on. It's kind of a thing that I don't talk about very much, but I am going to talk about it very soon. Probably later tonight I'll make a separate video. Anyway, but he shed some light on something for me that I hadn't. And really, he kind of gave me a different way of thinking about it, you know. And anyway, I'll tell you all about that. But this story is kind of funny, because it goes back to his Raleigh dealership. This salves and ointments and cooking spices and all that he was selling. He had his sign out by the road. Well, one day, an OPP cruiser comes up the laneway to the house, two OPP officers got out and knocked on his door. Gord opened the door and invited them in. And they said, we see you got a sign out by the road. He said, well, yes, I do. And they said, what is this rally that you're dealing? And he says, well, he said, she showed them, he showed them some liniment and some salve and some other cleaning supplies and things that he had there, to show them what it was. Anyway, when he showed them all that, they realized that it wasn't anything criminal. And so it was kind of funny. I guess they thought that Rowley might be some sort of drug. They thought he was dealing dope there or something. That's why they stopped. They saw the sign out by the road, and there were just a couple of young cops, and Rowley isn't really a well-known company with young people. It's sort of like Fuller Brush, It's in that same line. That's that same kind of thing, like the old Fuller Brush. The Fuller Brush man would come around or whatever. Well, Rowley is sort of the same idea. Anyway, and it's about the same vintage, too. And so, anyway, once Gord showed them what the stuff was, everything was okay, and they just went away. They had a good laugh about it. But, kind of funny. It was kind of stupid in a way, though, too. I mean, really, if you were doing something illegal, would you really put a sign out by the road advertising it? So it was kind of funny. Of course, I guess some people would be stupid enough to do that, though, I suppose. So anyway, they were satisfied when they saw the stuff, and they just went away anyway. And I guess they went away a little smarter than they were. They learned something. There's nothing wrong with coming away from a situation having learned something. And these two young cops learned about these old companies that used to make stuff, and whether they became customers, I don't know, but they at least knew about it, So that's kind of neat anyway. They learn something, and anytime you learn something, it's pretty good. Like I say, I found anyway, Gord, he taught me different things too. I learned a lot from Gord. And one thing that I learned from Gord is specifically related to a situation that had occurred in my life. And then another situation that occurred decades later that really disturbed me, but was related to the first situation. But I'll explain all that later anyway. For now, I got to continue my business here with my water bottles. We'll see you later.